So, Curt, at the Republican Jewish Coalition this weekend, we heard a version of Republicanism that sounds a lot like Mark Levin and Lindsey Graham. Where do you think that takes the Republican Party, and are voters here for it?
Well, there is obviously an attempt right now, most dramatically on display at this very weird assembly over the weekend at the Republican Jewish Convention, so called, to basically hijack the party back once Donald Trump does not run, presumably in 2028. That they will say, "Thank you, Mr. President. We were your biggest fans from the beginning." Of course, that was not true of either Lindsey Graham nor Mark Levin. These were fastidious opponents of Donald Trump in the 2016 primary process. That aside, they are hoping that Americans are stupid, and they are hoping that Republican primary voters are stupid, and they are saying that they are the biggest supporters of the president, and after he leaves the stage, whenever that is, they can go right back to where they were before Donald Trump came on the scene. And that's what you saw dramatically on display. And it's not about a religion. It's not about an ethnicity. It's about a set of policy, and it's about power. And that is what is openly going on right now in the back channels of the Republican Party.
Do you believe that this effort is targeted at Vice President JD Vance in some way? We heard Mark Levin mention him in an unflattering way. Is there already an anti-Vance resistance in this cohort of the Republican movement?
I think they're trying to set off a political bomb, and if the vice president is a casualty, that's just fine and dandy as far as the that perspective goes. At this convention, there's been widespread reporting that Marco Rubio was talked about as a good president, and of course, not far behind the scenes is an all but certain run by Ted Cruz, who's a favorite of this crowd as well. Again, neither of these figures are Jewish, not about religion, but these are clear challengers to Vance. And there's an attempt, of course, to bring Vance down behind the scenes because they don't trust them. They don't view him as one of their own, and they view him as unreliable. And of course, Vance himself came to politics as a critic of the Bush era. Even in 2016, when he was sort of a weird never Trumper, his criticisms of Trump were not actually about policy. He actually said that Trump did a great job at the South Carolina debate, that he was a potentially welcome vehicle to turn the pages on the Bush years. His criticisms of Trump are personal, and obviously he's made up of the family now and is the vice president.
Yeah, you'll have a lot of competition for the Israel first vote in the 2028 primary. You could have Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Ron DeSantis. I mean, Mike Pompeo still wants to be president. He literally gave his 2020 convention speech from Jerusalem in a shilling and bizarre effort. So that could be a divided vote for sure. You've got a great new piece out in the American Conservative where you talk about anti-Semitism as the new canard on campus. What do you hope that viewers take from that piece?
Yeah, I think number one, that I think that we should be honest brokers. We should condemn woke pieties, and we should condemn efforts to clamp down on free speech when it's done by the left. And I think it was garishly done by the left in the 2010s and during the Biden administration. And I think voters rightfully drummed that out of power. But we should also reject it when it's done by the right. And there are efforts to have anybody who's a critic of the state of Israel or just a critic of this war, of this particular government, excluded from American life, excluded from campuses. And I argue also that this is taking a lot of understandable energy on the immigration issue, where people want a more restrictionist policy, which I think is the correct policy, and actually channeling that to the purpose of only deporting critics of Israel. Sometimes the administration can give you that impression. Also on this piece, we talked a little bit about, or I talked about in the piece that where the magazine did about the fact that a lot of these efforts are being probably funded by surreptitious means, that a lot of the lawsuits that are going on in this arena are funded by, I don't want to say anonymous billionaires, but well-established players on the scene that, again, want to return to the Republican Party of the George W. Bush years. I think what you're seeing right now is, yes, Donald Trump is the president, but there's an effort to twist his legacy and to morph his policies back to the Mitt Romney, George W. Bush, old school Republican Party. They do not want this to be a permanent state of affairs.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.